I ruffled some feathers. I might have upset some people. I got some very passionate comments on a post recently, and I'm excited to talk about it. I love me a good juicy debate. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Tara Walsh. I'm a business coach for beauty business owners, and I teach people how to go from overlooked to fully booked and beyond. And specifically, recently I released a podcast episode answering the question that I received in a DM of how do I advertise appointments without looking desperate? How do I advertise that I have appointments available without looking desperate? So we have a whole podcast episode. It's episode 189 of the Lessons of a Lashpreneur show, where I go in depth on why you actually don't advertise that you have appointments available, that's not the reason why people aren't booking with you. So then we created content around that podcast episode. We created a reel that was very actually text heavy on the reel itself, which surprised me that we got so much engagement on it. But I think we lit a fire on some people, because what I was speaking to was this thing I see frequently lash artists and beauty business owners do, where they post the like a screenshot of like Friday 2 p.m. full set available, Saturday fill appointment at 1 p.m. available, and then they like hours later post another one where they've got one crossed out and like no longer available, and then they have this other, they have their remaining appointments. And what's interesting is that what I speak to in the episode is to the majority of people that follow me, that reach out to me, this strategy that they're seeing other artists do is ineffective and doesn't work, because it's not actually solving the pain point and the reason why people aren't booking with you. So for 90% of my audience, that strategy, if they're trying to understand, like, I'm posting my availability and nobody's booking, because it's not your lack of availability as to why they're not booking. Your marketing is not doing its job for them to go want to book, to go to your website, to then go book. So what I can tell you from this post, and if you guys want the link to the post, I can share it with you, but it's on the Instagrams. People that really, really disagreed with this post and with this strategy is because posting their availability has worked for them to get clients. But here's the thing, and if you go look at these, and I'm not calling anybody out, I'll call you out, like, here's the thing. I would say every single client or commenter who said this strategy does work, if you're wrong, that kind of conversation is actually because they're mostly, if not fully booked. So therefore, the strategy of sharing their availability is effective in getting a client to book with them, because the pain point the client actually has when you have that much demand is that they do not know when you're available because you are fully booked. So going to your website, trying to find availability, within the next week or two actually is their pain point, that you have created so much demand for your business that you have more demand than there is supply and demand, right? You guys probably heard that thrown around. We're going to get a little bit more into it today, but that is why that strategy works for those that have very little availability or they're fully booked. So when you do post these I'm available things or last minute cancellations, it can work to get a client to book with you. So those of you that responded, that this podcast episode wasn't actually directed to you. It's mostly for people who see other people doing it, thinking that's what gets clients to book. It's like they need to know when I'm available. No. They don't necessarily care when you're available until they're ready to book the appointment. But you haven't even gotten them to the point of wanting to book an appointment. That's the issue, right? Because your online booking should be where people go find out your availability. That shouldn't be a secret that's kept that you only post about every once in a while. But even if that's your case, or even with these posts that post like Friday at 2 p.m. full set, I want you to understand why that strategy is working for you if it is. Because here's the thing. So many people in our industry get to a level of fully booked and they have no idea how they actually did it, right? They're just kind of like willy-nilly doing it all, and then all of a sudden they have demand and they've built up a clientele at a certain price point, and they're kind of like, well, now I'm fully booked, but I don't know how to recreate that. I don't know how to create demand. And so they see what everybody else is doing in this industry, which please stop doing that unless you're following me, where they're like, no more appointments available, right? Fully booked, #blessed. You don't even have your online booking. Here's what that's doing to your business. You have stunted your growth. You have capped your growth. Your business is no longer growing. Likely because you're fully booked. You have no more time in the day. You have no more days in the week to be able to add on clients. Now, most of y'all are people pleasers. And when you get to being fully booked, you have this immense amount of pressure and fear around disappointing people. So you're getting people saying, hey, can I get in with you? And you're like, I can't get you in for a month, or I don't have a new appointment or a full set available for 3 months, right? But nobody's going to book that far out. So then you just lose the client, or you get a wait list, and then you post these like, oh, finally somebody canceled, here's availability, and you get all these people jumping on it. But what that is indicating is your business is actually telling you you've stunted your growth. So that should be an indicator, if that is you, that this strategy where you're posting your availability, it's called scarcity marketing, and it's very effective, that there is less demand or less supply than there is demand. So when you post that there's supply available, it gets scooped up. But if you have that experience enough times, say for my rule of thumb is if you're fully booked for anywhere from 2 to 3 months, right? That is a good indicator that the demand you're experiencing is not seasonal, right? It is consistent, and your business can grow if you want it to. So what that is indicating to me, as far as what I would tell you to do if I was your coach, is you either need to increase your prices to be able to increase your prices to drop some clients and increase supply to then catch up to demand. And you've given yourself a price increase. And you could probably even work less and make either the same amount of money, or work the same and work more. Happy to share with you how that works, like how much you raise your prices by. I've got a whole guide on that actually. So if you want to DM me #price increase, we'll send you our price increase strategy guide that tells you exactly how to raise your prices by how much, for the purpose of dropping off some clients. I know. Dropping off some clients with the intention of creating more availability, so that, again, the ideal is that clients go to book an appointment proactively without waiting around and just hanging out on Instagram every day, all day, waiting for you just to post that opening. That's not what they're doing. We want clients to be proactive in booking an appointment with you because they want the service and they want it now or within the next week or two, right? So that is what creates growth in your business. If you don't want to raise your prices, or you feel like you're at a good price level, but your goals are really to build out a team, this would also be an indicator that your business is ready to be able to add on a team member. Now hear me out on this, please. This does not mean that you hire the most skilled lash artist that's out there in a warm body and you pay her 50% and you're good to go. She gets all of your overflow. That is a great way for you to actually start paying yourself less. Because here's what usually happens in that situation when an artist gets fully booked and they're like, oh my God, I have so much demand, I need help. I'm just gonna hire somebody who's skilled and trained and just give her these clients, and we can split it 50-50 or 60-40 or whatever. What ends up happening about 6 months down the road, maybe even 3 months, is that demand does not stay that high because you're not marketing, right? Because you don't have time to market, because you're still taking a full client load. You're also still taking a full client load, therefore you cannot train this new lash artist to do it to the way that you get clients results. So therefore your clients do not want to go to the new artist because she doesn't get the same results as you do. And the demand that you've created for the results that you can get is not the same as what the new artist can do. So then what ends up happening is that you're paying a heck of a lot of money to this chick who's doing it her own way, right? She's got her own skill set, old dog, new tricks, like can't teach her anything new because she's been doing this forever. She's walking away with 50% of service dollars. And what ends up happening is that you're probably not at 50% profit in your business. Most businesses don't operate at a 50% profit. So if it costs your operating expenses, like, let's say even 60% is what it takes, 60% of sales is what it takes to run your business. You're now paying 50% of that to labor and you have 60% to run the business. That math doesn't add up. That's 110% of your total sales, which means that you're actually operating at a loss of 10%. So you're actually losing money by having that team member at that pay rate. That's why it's not profitable. What does that mean for you if this is the methodology that you do? It means that 10% that you're losing every time she takes an appointment comes out of your pay. So now you are stuck to taking clients to pay her, and your income starts to go down. Happens all the time. In fact, if you have ever tried to hire team members and pay them 50% commission, can I get an amen that that's what actually ends up happening? So an alternative that I want to offer to you that we are now testing out a new beta program that I've created to hire your first profitable team member. It's called Society X or Society Accelerator. It is the first I want you to hire your first team member profitably within 3 months. And I have step-by-steps on how to do that. I would love to share that program with you and just tell you more about it as we're getting ready to kind of release it and enroll it next month. If that's something that you're curious about, I'd love to share more about that program. You can text or DM me #hire, and I will show you what we're going to teach you so that by the end of this year, essentially, right? If we start in October, by the end of this year, you will have already hired your first team member where you are paying her in a way that your business can handle, that she's generating profit, that you know the 6 steps that we teach to hiring and the hiring process to her 90-day onboarding. You will learn all of that. You will also get very, very clear on whether your service prices are profitable, the current service menu, and how much you can pay her, right? That's a big gap and people don't understand is like, I don't know how much I can pay someone. I'm going to show you exactly how many clients she needs each week for you to break even on your investment into her as a legally employed team member. And this is also open to international as well. So if you're in Canada, if you're in Australia, if you're in the UK, we take the legalities part of it, but all the financial stuff is still there. All the 6 steps of the hiring process all still works. So DM me #hire if you want to learn how to hire your first profit producing team member by the end of the year. So to all of you who commented, and please go check out the post. It's a very text heavy post, but it talks about why posting your availability is not why clients aren't actually not booking with you, that there's actually far more that there's far more objections that your clients have that you should be speaking to in your marketing, and not just that you're available. Clients, if you're leading them to the website to go book an appointment, they'll be able to find your availability, but that's usually 9 times out of 10 why they're not booking. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. But again, if you want to our guide on how to increase your prices and give yourself a nice little pay raise, DM me #price increase. And if you want to learn how to hire your first profit producing team member by the end of the year, DM me #hire and we'll get you connected on what that program is. All right, guys, have a good one.